10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Virtus.pro's turn to pick. Dire team pick.
I can't believe it! I can't believe it!
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Lena. Virtus.pro's turn to pick. Mars.
We want to see improvement, adaptations, and in the words of one of
10
my
seconds
panelists,
remaining.
just play better. It's it's very simple. Thunder Predator
5
in this case
seconds
is the one that
remaining.
we're addressing because they are 1 game down against Virtus.pro, who has not lost a single game yet, and even if they might lose the next game, because based on what we saw, Virtus.pro at the moment is just a better team. We want Thunder Predator to put up a better fight. They, this time around, FE are going to get their hands on the Lena, so we're happy with that because that seemed to be working very well for VP, right?
I think so. Also, it's more flexible, right? We just need more flexibility coming out of Thunder Predator. They can't keep picking the same thing and expecting it to work. Yesterday, they also relied on the Mars and Terrorblade. And they do pick up Mars again. It just feels like he's the crux of their drafts, really.
Yeah.
They plan a lot around him.
It feels nicer to have in your opening too. Like, why go to the second phase for it? You know you want it. It's a pretty standard hero. Like, what heroes do you see where you're like, yeah, oh, Mars is great here? You know, it's just your standard pick and play offlaner.
But my point that I was making is it just hasn't really worked for them yet, right? So why don't they just branch out?
Tree? Is that what you're thinking?
Virtus.pro's turn to ban.
But no.
Dire team
Okay, but
ban.
no, this Lena Mars opener is very good. Obviously, he has a follow-up potential in Arena. They lane incredibly well together, assuming it is a support. And there's burst damage, right? So normally a level 1 Arena plus Spear isn't enough for key core heroes that you want to kill. But that's where Lena comes in and she just nukes them.
I
10
think
seconds
when
remaining.
we're talking about lessons, I think VP is teaching Thunder Predator a little bit of a
5
lesson here.
seconds remaining.
If you pick Terrorblade, ban Phantom Lancer. That's literally the first thing that they do.
Yeah, it's just one of the better matchups. Like, TB just hates playing against PL. You get pressured too early later on in the game. Feels like PL still has the edge, and they do their part. It's interesting that they're first picking Phoenix. Was there anything but a talent change for the hero? I can't recall.
He got nerfed.
That's what I thought.
The hero got nerfed, but it's still a Phoenix. It still has... It still gives a lot to the team. It gives team fight. It gives AoE damage. It gives a heal.
Virtus.pro's
It's a
turn
good
to
hero.
ban.
It gets nerfed every patch, to be honest. I just tweak the numbers more and more.
Dire
But it
team
doesn't take
ban.
away from what he can offer his team. He's overall weaker than he was a week ago. But you can still plan a draft around Phoenix. And obviously comfort hero. I think most CIS teams really love Phoenix.
Yeah, it's just
All of them have a Phoenix.
yeah. I was just thinking, always want to fly.
10
I
seconds
keep getting him in my
remaining.
games, and depending on his mood, he either picks Pudge, which
5
is actually
seconds remaining.
tolerable now that it can kill creeps. But if he's trying really hard, he'll play Phoenix. Otherwise, it's Undying Pudge and rough times. But main point, Solo does the same. You know, these 5-position Phoenixes, they provide a ton of team fight, and Egg just feels good. You get your spells again 2 times.
Do you mean Kingslayer?
And VP felt very comfortable.
But Solo does.
Oh, yeah, because, you know, Solo hasn't been doing too
What?
hot.
Are you saying Solo's not relevant?
No, I'm just saying he's not doing too hot recently.
Well, that's why he's been trying to play Phoenix.
Boom.
Great.
Even though
don't
Phoenix
see
is
him
not
here.
the hero.
No, but it's
Virtus.pro's
literally
turn
on
to
fire.
ban.
It's a fire. It's a flaming bird. I don't like. What do you
Why
think?
would you reference Solo and not Kingslayer? He did really good in the previous game on the
Exactly.
Phoenix. That's
We
why
don't
they
need
played
to
it
mention
again.
him. We just
They don't
fought.
care that Solo plays in a pub in his pub sometime.
He plays in professional too.
Oh,
10 seconds remaining.
Guys, let's focus on the bans. Drow Ranger is another excellent
5
ban against the
seconds
TB because
remaining.
the marksmanship ignoring the base armor of the Terrorblade plus the silence is really annoying to deal with
Right.
as a Phoenix player.
Also, she's a high range hero, so you can fight him from a distance, which is what
True.
he does not like. And she's a good egg killer, so they get that out of the way. She can comfortably hit the Phoenix
Dire
egg from a
team
distance,
back.
and she has a lot of agility. So she never really struggled with that.
Yeah, I actually, so this is maybe a bit of a lesson. I like this from VP. Pick your carry, this key hero, your win condition, in this final pick of the first phase, and then just ban out the potential answers because you don't have the luxury of doing it in the
10
next phase.
seconds
So you
remaining.
might as well just do it here where you have the 3 bans to
But
respond.
also, that's
5
as a
seconds
result
remaining.
of Thunder Predator revealing their offlane too. So
True.
they felt comfortable picking their safe lane heroes. And it could be a mid lane, it always can be. But just let's operate under the assumption that it is. Like, there really isn't a stronger lane support than Lena anyway. They know it's a Mars plus a strong lane support. They can pick their TV comfortably. They
That's the
already
point.
know.
I think this is going to be interesting because, again, second pick, big
Dire
advantage,
team
but that
pick.
doesn't mean first pick doesn't have tools to use to try and ensure they end up with at least something that works. And that last game just felt like an outdraft because, as Sin was saying during the cast, feels like VP, they had an answer. They got to answer the carry and mid. So, of course, they're going to take the draft and the laning phase.
Like, it just feels like Thunder Predator is stuck in the last patch.
10 seconds
They
remaining.
really have not been pushing themselves in any way. They're just playing the same things that they're used
5
to.
seconds
And while there
remaining.
is nothing wrong with that, what we want to see out of them is creativity and the desire to make something different work.
And
Because
this is the time to do it because at TI it's too late.
yeah, if they
I know.
they keep picking like this, I just don't see them beating any of the really good teams this tournament.
Yeah, I gotta agree. And AA, sure, you can remove the healing effect from the Sunray, but Phoenix
Virtus.pro's
loves playing
turn
against
to
AA.
pick.
You don't get the egg, you're not an incredibly strong laner, and
have no wave clear.
And now you're just like, huh, well, it's already also, by the way, bad against Terrorblade, doesn't prevent Sunder, and now you add a Beastmaster to the mix. I've played AA in these sorts of games. You do nothing. Your team fight is hiding in the back because, God forbid, you get
10
hit by a
seconds
boar,
remaining.
an illusion, a dive, you just die. And
Right,
rough
but
times.
5
AA does have
seconds
his merits,
remaining.
obviously. That's why he was one of the most contested heroes last patch. Especially with Arena, the Ice Blast into Arena is very potent. They should be able to kill anybody that they
Dire
can.
team pick.
But it's a style that people are used to playing against. Right? The people are used to playing versus Mars AA. They're used to playing versus Mars Lena. They're used to playing versus Mars and Terrorblade. Like, we've seen it all before. We had 3 months of it. It's not something that's going to catch VP off guard.
10
And SD, quite
seconds
nice here.
remaining.
You do not get affected by Ice Blast when under the effects of Banish.
5
Very
seconds
nice of
remaining.
Terrorblade for obvious reasons, just more illusions to pump out damage.
And also, the save versus the crux of their draft, which is this Mars burst that they're going to do with these 2 supports. Assuming Lena is a support, Shadow Demon can just disrupt the target that's been speared in the arena, and there that goes, basically.
Virtus.pro's
they've
turn
banned
to back.
Yeah, which would be nice. They go for Weaver. I was thinking maybe a Sven in this spot, but this is a nice hero. You double attack into the egg, you find the supports, you're really nice against Beastmaster and lane because the bugs latch onto the whole army. But my concern
10
is this lineup
seconds
now all of a
remaining.
sudden looks incredibly squishy. Like,
5
I'm
seconds
terrified
remaining.
now of GPK on some sort of active hero. He could pick a Void Spirit for himself,
May
as
I
an
though,
example, and just jump.
as a support player, every time I'm playing a Phoenix or Shadow Demon versus Weaver, I really hate my life.
That is true.
That hero just kills me and just follows me on the team fight, and it feels like I can never get into a good position, really. So this is a hard carry to play against
Dire
with the
team
supports
back.
that VP have. But like Kyle said, he is squishy.
There's one thing that we haven't really talked about when it comes to Virtus.pro. Obviously, we've mentioned that they did really well in both of the seasons of the DPC this year. But both of those seasons, they were playing without a coach, and they did just sign on a coach again, Bull. It's the
10
same one that was a
seconds
Gambit
remaining.
coach for a while as well as experience. We've seen him a lot on camera,
5
but he's also
seconds
sitting
remaining.
down. So I believe that he is in maybe the driver's seat when it comes to the draft. But yeah, it's interesting to note that they have taken on a
Virtus.pro's
coach,
turn to
considering that
ban.
for a while they just wanted to, figure themselves out. But they feel like they're ready for the next step.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision too. We've
Yep.
talked about it in the pre-show. Very young team. I like their ideas, and they've dominated the seasons, but I do believe that if you're going to elevate
10
your
seconds
gameplay,
remaining.
your
Dire
strategy,
team
your
back.
tactics, you compare yourself to your competitors, right? Because VP's on the same level as teams that are favorites for TI.
Yeah.
OG, Secret, EG, Alliance. All of them have coaches. You need a coach. You need that. You need the Balbino. You need a Heen.
Where was PSG LZD in your list? Or
10
IG?
seconds remaining.
I'm catering to our audience, Sheaves. Obviously, the
5
European and
seconds
American
remaining.
teams are the heavy favorites for TI.
I hear a lot of laughter
Virtus
from the side. I
Pro's
really
turn to
hope that
pick.
the microphones pick that up, but
There is
doubt
a
it.
clear favorite for TI.
The evil geniuses.
And if you do not say their names right now, I will be very
I
offended.
already have.
You don't want to jinx them, though.
That's true. Never
No,
mind.
realistically,
Never
No,
talk,
10
everybody,
seconds
everybody
remaining.
coming in as favorites for TI
No.
does not win
Look.
TI.
never talk about them.
5
They won't
seconds
exist.
remaining.
Hang on. Let's, on the count of 3, say your favorite
No.
for TI.
No.
1,
No.
2, 3. Alliance.
PSLDD! Okay.
Now, realistically, it's OG. They're going to get the
Dire
third ship.
team
They've
back.
got-
Can you get a load of this guy? Oh my god. But
They're good
they didn't
bands.
ban Ember?
Well, they banned Puck Void Spirit. You can't get rid of them all. And
No,
ultimately,
but
Puck better.
they needed to buy ban the spirits.
They
Because
would've-
that's what VP needs. They need that one hero to go in.
10
That's true, but
seconds
I-
The hero
remaining.
ban
that sets,
Storm.
the hero that sets up for the
5
supernova.
seconds
I
remaining.
agree, but I don't think there was, like, I think Puck, again, maybe last patch thinking that's what you would have banned on 7.29. You couldn't get rid of all the spirits. You know VP's going to scoop up one of them, but would agree it's the ideal pick just for the catch into the back line. Thunder Predator now, you get the lane counter. What do? You need a lot. I actually don't know what you want to go for here.
I think
Shadow Fiend.
Kunkka and Lush would have been really good picks, and those are really good hands by
Mm-hmm.
VP. They need a hero. I would say that
You're gonna ping?
is
Storm, choose your hero.
That's
It's going to be Storm.
Spirit
Hunts the
Bubbles.
supports. Good matchup against Ember, and really nice synergy with AA and Weaver, because you need the hero that goes in, and then you have the Invis carry, the Ice Blast. It could work.
Right, I just think that VP are going to hit this timing where even if, like, he's not playing against many stuns, right? That's what you think about when, if any stuns, really, it's just an Ember chains and the Beastmaster playing more, right? But if they hit their timing, their 20-minute timing with their TV and their Beastmaster, and they
Yeah.
just run down lane Storm,
Yep.
there's not that much he can do versus that, because Storm is a hero that needs time.
Yep.
And if he's playing against the lineup with no stuns, he does pop off, but it takes time to
Yeah,
pop
he
off.
needs like 3 items.
He needs to farm.
Will. You know, whenever there's a Storm, I've absorbed his knowledge. Storm hates Death Ball.
Yeah.
VP,
Yeah.
you're gonna have this timing potentially with Helm of the Overlord TB. Arguably the best combination, Beastmaster TB. You get the max aura, then you get the Triceratops creep, 75. It's like 130 attack speed. Then you Solar Crest.
I have a
bonus.
You get 2 items on TV. You go with Beastmaster, you end the game.
Yep.
So what I'm hearing from both of you is that Virtus.pro have got a faster timing,
Yes.
but they would also have the late game.
Yes.
Yes.
And the better road.
I mean, it's pretty bad omens for Thunder Predator right here. Okay, Effie, what do they need to do to
Storm
pop off
Spirit,
this
they
game?
do have the better late game on paper, but a Storm Spirit versus a no stun lineup in the super late game, that hero is
All right,
stronger.
So all eyes on Leo style for Thunder Predator.
Yep.
I think all eyes on will they stop this TV?
No.
All right, let's see if
That's
the support Lena can help out in that lane. Let's see if Leo style pops off on the storm.
Told you a storm was coming.
Prepare for battle.
Pro will just come and sweep the
Muy bien, los chiquitos.
Alright, so I'm gonna be really honest with you. I'm a bit of a Leo style stan. Like, I'm a big fan of this player. He's on his Storm. He's gonna do great things with this hero. But what I'm concerned about now is that DM is on the Beastmaster and Save is on the Shadow Demon, and those two are incredible with those
Told
heroes
you a
as well.
storm was coming.
What I'm more concerned about Thunder Predator than what the individual players are playing is just what we've seen from them so far, being a bit disconnected and not hitting their stride in the games. I want that game that inspires confidence in me from this team to really see it. I guess there was one series yesterday that Thunder Predator played that we didn't see here on the
30
main stream, I
seconds
believe.
to
It was
battle.
played on the secondary stream, where they, I think, got a draw. It
When
was,
you play with Lena,
if I'm not mistaken.
you tend to get burned.
But the games we had yesterday here, they kind of just got got destroyed, and this last game was no different. So I want this confidence boost. I want to see them get together and make these kills and put pressure on VP. Like, I think it was a nice way that Mira said it earlier. FA on the panel said we want to see the teams from yesterday who fell short, not necessarily win their games, but just look very competitive. And I haven't seen that from Thunder Predator yet. So I hope in this game we get to see it. I think the Stormblast pick is a good way of doing it. Like you said, it's playing to Leo style strengths. They can play more explosive in this game. They have the Ice Blast. They have a fast carry in the Weaver compared to Terrorblade last game. More tempo in that direction. Their offlane, I think Lina Mars is stronger than Mars Willow in the early laning stage. So they're trying to double down on being better in lanes, and that I think is a good choice after what happened in the last game. So let's see if it works.
Definitely agree with that. And of course, the 2 games that we saw yesterday with Thunder Predator, they ended up having some issues because they kept going for that first pick Brood, which I think a lot of people would agree is just not very good anymore.
No, absolutely not. It felt a little outdated, basically. And I will always give strategies like that the benefit of the doubt. Like, I have my own opinion on Brood and how much it's been nerfed, and obviously if a team can first pick it and win, then that's amazing. But yeah, what happened yesterday did not make a good case for that, and they just dropped it, right? They dropped it for today. So yeah, something I wanted to talk a little bit about in this game is how... Okay, hang on, we're getting a disruption top. This is actually... He's full surrounded. Okay, has the tango. There was a path out there for MJZ. I think it's interesting how VP approached the draft from the first pick's perspective, right? That's something I'm going to be keeping a lookout for in this tournament is the teams that are doing really hot, what do they do on first pick? Because we have our impression that second pick is just better. What VP did this game was that they closed out the first phase with the key core of their lineup because they know later on in the draft if you pick your key core then, there's still going to be counter picks at every turn.
Right.
So they're grabbing that early and then they're banning for it in the first ban phase where they have multiple good bans to go. So they pick that first phase Terrorblade and then they banned out, what was it? They banned out PL and another TB counter, maybe even 2 additional ones to enable for that, which is in stark contrast to what Thunder Predator did last game where they picked the Terrorblade as first pick on the 4th overall pick for themselves, only to have it counterpick twice, right?
Right.
So I think this is an interesting approach that we might see other teams be doing more as well. And we're going to get more data, of course, as the tournament progresses, but a little bit of a teaser maybe of things to come.
I mean, that's part of the fun, right? The fact that you get these changes and we get to see how teams adjust in real time. You know, it's definitely a treat. And sometimes, you know, things work really, really well. And other times we see some epic fails. But either way, it's great Dota to watch. As long as it's not your team getting absolutely obliterated.
Marked my
Good push up here from Thunder Predator. Weaver a very, very formidable lane against these low burst lanes. You just win the harassment war usually. You have the chilling touch, you have the Weaver getting Geminate attacks off, Shikuchi, just the non-stop harass is forcing Save to use his healing south there. And they also managed to kill Kingslayer's Courier bottom before it delivered items. So another potential laning victory here coming in from the Predator if they find an opening. This is already for me looking much better than last game for starters. And we might get first blood here, Leo style.
Leo, see if he can outplay here. Has to be careful though. When he popped that Fairy Fire already, he might get turned back around on GPK. Just outplaying Leo here in the middle lane.
GPK still has Flame Guard on and like 150 health. And he ran into him in melee range without having a Remnant ready.
Well, as you like to say, Cinderin, players are indeed human. Sometimes,
they are.
You know, perhaps they're feeling pressure. Perhaps they feel, you know, we need to give a better showing than what we have done. So
that's not the way to do it.
Yeah, MNZ needs to be very careful here because they had too much damage. Although they will be able to get a return kill over on DM, but now MJZ also not looking particularly healthy. Does have 2 stacks of that Shadow Poison on him, not to be quite enough to take him out.
He needs 4 here. I think he needs 1 more. Okay, he could pop it there. The healing salve was used. I don't know if he noticed that or could hear it. Or not could hear it, yeah. He saw it, rather.
That'd be some hacks there. If you can hear it, there's something wrong.
Yeah, he was in daytime vision and popped the poison, so dropped the salve there. And that means MJZ is basically standing up here with almost no resources. I think in that situation you don't use your salve. You hope you survive the 3-stack poison, and if you die, you get a full refill and you come back to lane. And if you don't, then you can salve when the stacks have expired. But using the salve for a little bit of healing only to get it interrupted is basically throwing the 100 gold down the drain.
Huzzah!
Huzzah. Ember's getting level 6 in 1 creep. He could actually kill Leo style here. GPK with a Spirit Bomb. Let's see if he does it immediately. I would love to see it.
No, 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 no.
He's playing a little carefully right now, though. Looks like he's respecting.
I really thought he was going to just pop his sticks and throw 3 remnants in Leo style's face and disperse it.
We call that the NA special. Where you
Radiant's
just throw
courier
everything
has
out of it
been
all of a
killed.
sudden, like, uh-oh. Now you're stuck. Now you've got a problem. MNZ here is looking very dead. As, again, he will die in that top lane. Bottom lane, Moose is taking a lot of harass here from Kingslayer. He's been landing all those Spirits. Nightfall coming back in. He wants his kill on Moose. He's going to be able to do it. Spirit to the side. They'll be able to take down Moose, but they should be able to take down Kingslayer here.
The only one
Frank needs
surprised
to
by this
get the
is
heck out, because you do not want to give a kill over to Nightfall. But looks like they're just gonna run right back to the wave here.
I think they're still very content with the bottom lane, right? You're doing very well in the Terrorblade. The Mars isn't doing so well. They have a feeling that Mars is being outfarmed. They probably don't know exactly by how much, but they've managed to play Terrorblade Phoenix into Mars Lina and win the lane. That is very good for Virtus.pro.
Looks like Leo was able to pick up that Arcane Room just a little bit faster than GPK. Have a bit more sustainability here in the lane. But like you said, this is a hero that, needs a little bit of farm, needs some time to come online, so aren't going to see him be super active unless he gets a very good route of opportunity.
Yep. Arcane Rune, obviously, one of the
Who's
two
gonna
best
make
you can
this?
get.
No. Pops the stick charges here. Gonna see those Syrian chains that drag back. Oh, he's sitting so low, but almost falls to GPK. But in the top lane, again, another kill on MNZ. This Weaver is struggling.
And it's not going to get any
Radiant's
easier when
bottom
Beastmaster
tower
hits
is
level
under
6.
attack.
Then you're also dealing with the Primal Roar, and your support cannot do
I'll be
anything to save you. There's no
creeping while you are
repositioning spell, there's no mitigation spell, there's no healing spell in this AA. It's that's something that AA just flat out does not offer, that a lot of 5s have in them in the laning stage, is
Dire's
some
middle
sort
tower
of
is under attack.
support,
Yes.
technically speaking. So when the carry falls behind in an offensive lane like this with AA, it feels really bad, because what
Dire's
your lane
middle
wants
tower
to do
is
is
under
hard to
attack.
accomplish when Beast hits level 6. You can't play aggressive anymore, because they're just stronger than you. It's a level 6
Dire's
Shadow Demon.
structures are
He's gotten
fortified.
Holy shit!
He's gotten a lot of assists and some kills here.
He's level
Dire's
6 and
middle
it's
tower
7.
is under
Yeah,
attack.
this is why I said, I saw that Shadow Demon, I saw save. Like, this guy is very, very good with this hero, living up to his name, so to speak, in a lot of games as well.
Yeah,
He plays
true.
it.
I mean, he could just go and solo kill the AA right now if he wanted to. If he gets a disruption here in the sentry, that could have also been a potential kill. Yeah, that's dangerous. That is very dangerous. He's giving solo experience now over to DM to get him up to his level 6. Gonna go
Radiant
and stack the
are
camp once
scanning.
again. This is something that is okay. I think
Just barely.
got that one. One of the strengths of Shadow Demon, very good at stacking camps.
Indeed, as Moose and Leon style. Have to get the heck out. That Sun Ray followed with the Remnant's not looking
Dire's
good here
middle tower
for
is
this
under attack.
Storm Spirit here. Perhaps they can get a return kill? No, there's too many here. Moose is struggling too hard. He wanted to get the kill on GPK, but he's not going to be able to do it. Very nice rotations coming out from VP.
Oh, and he's even gonna find a regen rune top here.
Actually, they secured that for him.
Yeah,
They made that rotation
Dire's
to make
Didn't
middle
even
sure.
need to
tower
use that
is under
healing
attack.
salve on the Phoenix, but being a good friend doing that, I guess the benefit of using that is that he can save the regen now. He can go and farm his camp without having to use his rune. Oh, he did use it anyway.
Gets himself a
Getting
nice thing for
enormous
his
this game
troubles.
now. Yeah, he's going to clear this before minute 9, so it can spawn again. More than likely. Might be a little bit close on it. Nah, he's fine. Look at
Easy,
that.
easy. Ooh, and a pig pole. Nothing like a fairy trinket and a pig pole coming out of the old creep pinata. God, that sounds crazy. Never thought I'd be saying words like this in my Dota 2. But hey, it's fun. All right, so it looks like we're going to allow some some sapping here for MJZ, get some of those levels online. He needs that level 6, but he has to be very careful as well, because GPK could easily kill him.
Captured in the flame.
I mean, yes, as just stated. Slow him down just a little bit, fill out the cold feet. This is just not looking good for
Dire's
MJZ. He's just getting chased right behind the tower. GPK
Radiant's
is just
bottom
looking for a
tower is
snack
under
at this
attack.
point. It's another chains and zips on out. Easy peasy.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
This is one of the worst matchups for
Dire's
AA.
top tower is under attack.
I want to say almost all of Dota, but especially when it comes to like
Dire's
sitting
top
in lane and
tower has
soaking.
fallen.
The heroes you don't want to face are the
Dire's
heroes that can
middle
die
tower
here with
is
minimal
under
risk.
attack.
Good catcher and save.
Looks like they're gonna finally get some vengeance here. MNZ has had enough of this Shadow Demon, but
Double damage empowers
again, that
me.
is a support.
Radiant's bottom
Perhaps they
tower
can turn
is
this
under
into a tower
attack.
push, but in the mid lane, you've got
Radiant
GPK. He's got double damage.
structures
He's gonna
are
be able to take their
fortified.
mid tower, which is very, very important.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It's kind of a similar
Radiant's
outcome to
bottom
last
tower
game.
is under attack.
We got into this situation as well where Thunder Predator make a rotation bottom, and in the meantime they're getting pushed in mid. Just that time it was PL doing it, this time it is
Dire's top
GPK
tower
and the
is
Ember, but
under
the end
attack.
result is the same. Look how far ahead GPK is.
Yeah.
Level 10.5 to level 8
Radiant's
Storm
bottom tower
coming up
has
after
fallen.
the next creep here. So a
Dire's
full
top
2-level
tower
advantage.
is under attack.
And yeah, if GPK maintains rune control, Storm is having a really hard time coming back into the game. He kind of
Dire's
needs
middle
runes to
tower
make
is
moves,
under attack.
and he's going to get out farmed. And when Ember is this farmed, he feels confident to even go and mess with Storm when he's farming his own jungle. Like if he has a read on where Leo Style's going,
Dire's
just go
middle
and
tower
try to
is
steal the
under
camps.
attack.
You're almost invincible in this game. You only really die to a Mars combination, and if you have Flame Guard on, you might not even die to that. So, yeah. Rough times for Thunder Predator once again, just kind of getting... They're just getting rolled. This top lane, I feel like theoretically just doesn't go like this if both teams play their best. I don't think you lose a
Dire's
Weaver
top tower
to
is under
Beast Shadow
attack.
Demon by this much of a margin, if at all. Alright, good move from Leo Style. Find a much more
This is what we definitely want to start seeing coming out from Thunder Predator, but they are invading over into the bottom area coming out from VP, so they are putting that pressure down on Thunder Predator. But yeah, I was about to ask, you know, obviously the Storm Spirit wants some time, wants to get a little bit of farm online, but they do need to be making the space. They need to have some sort of map presence, and I'm just not feeling it. Comparably, you know, with Virtus.pro, who are making quite a bit amount of space, also farming, and then at the same time, you've got Nightfall just hitting the camps, having a good time.
I guess a key moment here is Mars getting Blink, so that you can set up both your Weaver, Storm, and Lina for success, and AA for that matter. Like, the arena is really good this game. It ties their lineup together nicely. It's great against Terrorblade, it's great against Shadow Demon. It's also great against Beastmasters, to be honest. You know, just containing these heroes to prevent them from moving around. The one hero that can counterplay it pretty well is Ember, and to an extent Phoenix by just using the egg when getting jumped. But a lot of it is going to come from that dagger on Mars, and because the laning stage didn't go as well as he would have liked, it's still a little bit away, sitting 600 short of it right now. And I do think they're waiting for that, and then I would love to see them smoke. Take initiative, try to get into the enemy jungle, find a kill or two, and take mid tower, if possible.
Now, I have a question for you, because I know a lot of different casters will say, you know, you want to plan for the person that's going to be coming online the earliest. And obviously, you know, Mino's very important on the Weaver, struggling in lane, but also Frank is going to be one of those heroes that is very important to get him online. Is it a situation where they should have maybe put more attention down into Frank's lane to help him secure that early Blink Dagger to make the space for MNZ, or is it just kind of a dumpster fire either way for them because, you know, again, that top lane was very, very strong?
I think they just got outplayed. I actually think the way they distributed their resources was fine. The Lina Mars lane is good in this game. The Weaver AA lane is also good in this game. They died in ways and in lanes that they arguably just shouldn't be dying in.
They'll finally be able to take out the Scareblade, but it looks like they're going to lose multiple heroes in this trade. Frankie's trying to cannot do it fast enough. They'll over the back end. They'll go in with the save with the disruption. Doesn't matter, save this time will fall. GPK though, he's hungry. He's hunting Leo Style. Still has plenty of mana. This is not looking great for MNZ.
Dire's
He
top
should be
tower
able
is
to get
under
away
attack.
here, but definitely.
Could be slight chains here.
Bathed in
There
searing
it
heat.
is, and he does not have that time lapse up. Does have the Shikuchi though at the very least, so no detection means he will be able to get away.
that was a 4v5. Beastmaster never showed up. He kept farming top. He's close to...
Oh my god, he's almost got
closing in
the
on his helm
item.
of the Overlord. Yeah, they dove down there pretty deep to get the Terrorblade. With the Spear of Mars missing, they needed a little extra time, like 2 or 3 extra seconds for those kills, or for that kill rather. And that gave VP all the time they needed to rotate in multiple heroes and get the counterfight. So I would say overall win for VP there. Again, just Beastmaster being uninvolved. You play a 4v5 and get that trade, that's pretty damn good for them. You're going to see it here. That Spear miss. If he has Sunder here, he might even live, right? Like he got AA blasted, he could have Sundered the Mars for full HP, but not skilled yet. Nice Supernova there on last bit of health.
Dire's top tower
That's
is
the end
under
of that
attack.
trade. So, yeah, just to go back to what you were talking about before with the Mars, right? If you have Mars Lina against Terrorblade Phoenix, I think that should be a good lane matchup. I think the Weaver AA should definitely hold their own or also win against Beastmaster SD. So going back to the lane stage, like sometimes you gotta call a spade a spade. If you misplayed and lost, that happens. Like sometimes you just lose games on making mistakes, right? It's not always a lot of
Radiant's
Yeah,
middle
killed him from
tower is
1,000
under
range.
attack.
No damage though.
Yep.
So I was going to mention, you said the dagger, very important for Frank here to be able to start making
Mine
plays.
is
But like, I'm
truly a
concerned
blessed
now.
life.
Like you've got the Kaya online for your Storm, you've got the Blink Dagger on your Mars, but the way that VP plays, and this is something that they classically have done, like throughout different seasons of the DPC, is the way they just play really tightly together. They reach a certain point and they're like, okay, we're strong, we're going to take over this part of the jungle. And you can see the ward vision that they've got up over in the jungle as well.
Oof, GPK just got out in time there. It's looking for the power rune, but it will be claimed by, oh well, sorry, it is top. It was
It's him.
Leo Style activating his DD, not grabbing one. Yeah, they're playing tight. I still think it's the way to go, right? For Thunder Predator, you want to fight them. You're not going to just start split pushing or whatever. You have a Weaver that is hitting a decent item timing right now with Maelstrom Sange. Your Storm, like you said, having the Kaya and the Dagger on Mars is the big one. You try to isolate and kill the heroes that you can and open up the map, especially once again around that mid area.
Radiant's
would be
middle
really
tower
good.
is under
And defense
attack.
on top tier 2, I'm not mad at this if they smoke. I think if they don't, it's just naive to think they're going to find this play. Just walking through vision now at this point.
There's so much vision too when you look at all the wards that have already been pre-placed, not even mentioning the fact they have the outpost.
Right, it's just very telegraphed, right? They know this is coming. They have...
Dire's
and I mean,
top
there
tower
isn't even
is
a tier
under
2,
attack.
my bad. Beastmaster already destroyed that, so they're not even defending that. They're just pushing out the wave. And this gives a lot of information to Nightfall bottom. He's just pushing out the usually dangerous lane here with Terrorblade because he knows that based on the vision they have in the Dire jungle top half, that there's a maximum of 1 hero bottom. And that hero will not solo him. So a lot of safety for him to get that extra farm. And basically pushing all the way into the bottom tier 1 with his illusion right now as he transitions into the jungle with his main hero. So just maximizing very well. And I have to say, honestly, it's kind of impressive to me how farmed
Dire's
MNZ
bottom
is. Like,
tower
considering
is
he had
under
those
attack.
3 deaths in lane, if you imagine this game from the perspective of a Weaver not getting a bad laning outcome, he could have been on 10k net worth at this point, actually, and been looking very dangerous, but...
Well, they know that he's making his way over here. They do have all the wards, even as the Shikuchi's through, they've got the sentry. This Roche is going down very quickly. I'm not sure. They do have the Blink Dagger,
Radiant's
though,
middle
so
tower
they could
is
try and
under
make this
attack.
happen. He's deploying his body forward, gets immediately forward. They stop jumping back. They've got the egg. Looking for the opening. Egg is going to go off here. Will be able to murder Leo. He was trying for a cheeky play. They're not going to be able to do it, as the rest of Thunder Predator are forced to retreat.
Yeah, he missed the timing on Storm by about half a second there. He jumped too early, and not only that, Roshan wasn't dead yet, but he arrived before the supernova exploded. What he was trying for there was to be mid-air so he doesn't take the supernova stun. Unfortunately for him, he did complete his travel first and then get stunned, and then he got chained. So, oh my god.
Look at that damage. Oh, the follow-up. Look at very nice clean plays coming out from the
Dire's middle
side.
tower is under attack.
Hold on, I'm not sure if we're quite done. Oh, great, we have the dragon. The dragon is back, Cinder.
Yep, Dragon's back.
Oh, that helm of the
Dire's
Overlord, man.
middle tower
What an
is under
item. Oh,
attack.
geez, MJZ, just wrong place, wrong time, my friend. You might just die to the zoo. They might just chase you down and munch on you. That appears to be the situation. Luckily, Moose is nearby, but look how tanky these creeps are, too. Player style, jumping forward, just giving a little bit of a poke here to DM. He knows that the roar is still pretty much down, but has to be careful. It's going to be up in just a couple seconds. Cannot afford to die here and get locked down.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's a little love tap there from GPK. They want this tower and they're positioned for it.
Dire's
Especially with
middle
that
tower
Aegis, they're
is
looking
under
to make
attack.
moves. But to go back to your other statement about the Weaver, you know, yeah, he had multiple deaths in lane. I was checking his levels. He was still on par, a little bit behind from DM, but also his gold is actually still fairly high. So like you said, it is impressive.
And it's a bit of a shame, right? Because you can kind of see the writing on the wall here. It's a big lead for VP, 8,000 gold up, and it just makes you wonder if Thunder Predator don't have these. I don't know if I want to call them just blunders, but
Your place
the lanes.
is
Oh
here.
boy.
It's the same place he got
Dire's
changed
middle
last
tower
time.
is under attack.
That's not
Dire's
dizzy
middle
nearby.
tower has fallen.
Have vision up there. Leo now forced to run away. He is sitting very, very low.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if you think back to minute 10, they actually had critical mistakes in every lane. The Storm tried to kill the Ember and got solo killed when he overdove. The top lane Weaver has 3 deaths in lane against Beastmaster Shadow Demon.
Radiant's
and in the
bottom
bottom
tower
lane, the
is
Lina
under
Mars
attack.
didn't really win against Terrorblade Phoenix. I think they just traded evenly. So if they had brushed up on their lane mechanics and done a really good job in lane, I think this game would have looked very competitive, not maybe even Thunder Predator favored. But VP has just been outclassing them in the lanes. Oh, good disruption.
They're an excellent team. The rest of the team, though, of course, is here. They look for the opening. They take down Seth, losing Minnesota and Frank during all of this. And now the Weaver has been hit, he's been warned, he's been locked down, and he is indeed dead. Moose now forced to hide over here in the tree line. He uses his piggy bullet, trying to run away, run to safety, run little pig, run away back home. And it looks like they will just back off. They'll pay attention to this tower. They've got that courier over there too, up over on the ledge. A little bit of vision, but eventually they'll find Moose.
The worms will have you.
Got to see a little bit of a dive bomb in action there from DM. Great shard against Weaver. It can really catch you off guard that you just get stunned out of seemingly nowhere from the Hawk. And that was what chained him into getting his roar off. So
Dire's bottom
nicely done
tower
here from
is
DM.
under attack.
That might be a part of this replay. I think it is. We're going to see it. First of all, so we're going to start with the disruption from Safe. Very quick here, dodging the spear. And it might look inconsequential because he kind of dies right after, but it's about the setup, right? The enemy team sticks around for so long to get this kill that they're completely compromised. And there's the dive bomb into the roar. Very nicely done. So just that disruption actually made a huge difference. Just delaying his inevitable death by 2.5 seconds set up his entire team to come in and find 3 quick kills.
And that's without a blink dagger.
Yep.
And now we have the blink online for the Beastmaster, so these setups, which are already fantastic, are going to be even better. Oh, again, another disruption coming out here from Save. MNZ trying to run away. Leo jumping out the back lines. G-Max gets a kill on MNZ. Roar comes out, they're locking him into place, and that's going to be a dead Storm Spear. Moves, of course, slowing down. And Dizzy can't hope to survive. He's immediately going to get melted, and the GGs get called. Thunder Predator, they've had enough.
Dire's middle tower is
Outclassed.
under attack.
I think it's fair to say
Virtus.pro
VP are just playing better Dota. I really like their draft. I like the way that I like both drafts really. It didn't feel like as much of a draft win as the first game did. Obviously, being second pick in this game, Thunder Predator had better options and better solutions to what was thrown at them. But if you want to beat VP, you have to be better in lanes than this. Like that's really just this team in a nutshell. They're very good at building an advantage from lanes, and if you are specifically drafting in a way such that you can win your lanes, you've got to deliver, right? And they had very unnecessary deaths, especially the one on Storm.